Community. Compassion.
Kindness.
Satisfaction.
Music.
Respect.
Joy.
Emotions.
Passion.
Hope.
Peace.
Friendship.
Friendship.
Companionship.
Because we can't do the melody all together, otherwise it's a bit boring to listen to. So, men, you're going to sing, I'm on my way to what I want from this world. Ladies, you're going to sing, I'm on my way to what I want from this world. Which is quite, it's an easy one to sing, isn't it? Okay, so let's try.
The Sydney Street Choir has been going for about 20 years now, almost 20 years, 19 years. And we're a musical community formed to help those who have been living in disadvantage in Sydney. We exist to help members come together, make new friends, and avoid social isolation, which can be an issue for some of our members. The choir, I think, is mainly a social engagement activity. Obviously we sing and we sing together in a group, and that's our main task, but the ultimate outcome is to enable members of the choir to meet people, meet and see a side of Australia that they may not otherwise see.
It is giving them a voice, because homeless people, a lot of what they talk to me about is that they're really lonely and they're socially isolated, and they absolutely love doing the performances, and suddenly they're not invisible anymore, and they love it. That's one of the things they really seem to love about the choir, is the fact that they're seen and people appreciate them. People smile at them and say, thanks, I really like that. And it works. It's their community.
The Sydney Street Choir is a really small grassroots non-profit, and we're extremely limited in our capacity and resources. So measuring impact isn't something that's really been high on our radar as a board, and it's really something that I guess falls to the bottom of the list often when there is 100 other things to do. Measuring impact is a really tough thing for us as a small board.
There is huge variability in the sector's ability and capacity to measure social impact. Yet, on the other hand, the demand for evaluation from funders, including government funders, was growing exponentially.
When you go to a choir performance or rehearsal, you can really feel positive emotion, connection between the people of the choir. It is clear if you see those people singing that the choir is creating a social impact. But how can you convince the general public, potential donors and funders, that the choir is really doing something good? People that have never been to their performances, how do they know? How can they be sure you are creating a social impact and making a difference for the community?
I think measuring social impact is a bit of a scary thing for non-profits, but it's also something that is easy to put aside. It's easy to put it aside when you've got so many other priorities. It's really critical for us as an organisation in order to attract new funders. I think, most corporate funders these days, they need robust data, they need evidence. And so that for us as a non-profit is a really critical missing piece of the puzzle.
And then, so what can we use as a tool to measure a decrease in anxiety? And then there's a suggestion of a resource. So maybe a good measure, it says here the DAS, you can measure anxiety. Given it is quite tough to resource evaluation, UTS, in partnership with Bendigo Bank's community sector banking and of course the PAYCE Foundation, we have decided to try and develop some resources that are accessible, reliable, but mostly free. The philosophy being we can democratise access to the information and the tools needed to be able to build the capacity of the sector to measure their own social impact.
Having access to a number of tools that are easily available, that are free of charge, and that are easily translatable into actions, it was a fantastic opportunity for us to sort of, okay, well, this is perfect for us to try and help an organisation like the Sydney Street Choir to use these tools and become better at what they do in terms of communicating what they do.
I hope that the choir can use it as a tool to engage more investors and just to show their social impact measurement journey.
Who can do it? Stu, super high. Beautiful, good ups. Nice one, Dave. Oh, Dave's got it perfectly. Graham.
I'll stand up.
Get ups. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Please help me.
Wow.
The workshops told us how to evaluate what we were doing. We were able to look at what were the impacts that we were having on the choir, on the people on the choir. And we also learnt that it's actually not that hard to do it. The strength of the choir was that we had people who wanted to come in and sing. And what led from that, from coming in and learning to sing, what were the pluses of that? There was this incredible emotional outlet that they had. A lot of our clients were very scared of expressing their emotions, or they felt out of control. And being able to sing in the choir meant that they could have an emotional experience that was controlled, and they felt really good about it.
During this process as a board, I think we've really been able to come together and really articulate and clarify what it is that this organisation is here to do. And that's really important, I think, both from an impact perspective, but also for our broader strategy and what we want to do moving forward as well, in terms of the impact areas, as well as the impact that we want to have on the members of the choir.
The whole process of measuring social impact has given us confidence because we're the ones that know what's happening in the choir. We're the ones that can see the value. We feel we're the best ones to be able to evaluate the choir.
I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say.
We are of value. We know we're of a value, but we want to be able to put it on paper and show people that the choir actually does mean a lot to a lot of people, and it does make a difference.
Each time you leave me, I start losing control.